Hello everybody, hope you are having another blessed day. For today's video, we are back in the game of Wizard101 for me to share with you guys my PvP gear and deck guide, alright? So this is what I put together when we'll be trying to test out what would be good for level 140 Fire Cosmic PvP. So in the video, I'll be sharing with you guys what the gear I'm going to be using, how I got it, and also the deck profile I'm going to be using, alright? Now, as a disclaimer, if you want to look for someone who has a lot of experience with PvP, then you should probably look away at this time, because I don't have the greatest PvP experience. However, from my experience playing this game for years, I do believe that this is a really good deck and gear profile, alright? So with that, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's first get into the stats. Alright, so starting off with the stats, something you're going to see that's going to pop out most likely is that we are rocking now 9K. Yes, we are rocking over 9K as of fire. So when you go into that stuff, you can't see what score you're playing against. Someone's going to look at your score and think off the bat you may be even a freaking balance, alright? Because usually you do not see a fire up this high. I do know a lot of people like to use the Dragoons, and that kind of stuff, like the turquoise robe. And those kind of robes get you up high, but no one's really seen a 9K fire till we got to Cosmic. Because once we got to Cosmic, we got like 200-300 extra health, and boom, bada bing, we're at 9K. So yes, I'm going to be rocking 9K to kind of throw off some people and get that extra health to help me. Now, currently, my damage is going to be 153, which is really good. Kind of lower than you may think for a fire, because usually fire is more of a hitting score. I'm going more of a tanky kind of score, in my opinion. Alright? I want to go more health, with having less damage and less crit. Alright? We're going to be rocking 41 resist. I think 40 resist is kind of flatline, which you kind of want to have for PvP, even though usually people pierce for all of it. Then we're rocking 42 accuracy, because we do put an extra draw in there to kind of battle against those mantles, because you lose to a mantle, you hate yourself. Then for crit and block, which I think is really nice, we have 442 crit, which is okay, but the big part is that we have 446 critical block, which is pretty funny how a fire, at least the fire I'm using, has more block than I do crit. Alright, so we got some solid block. We haven't had block this high since back when block was actually good. Alright, that was before they had the whole critical update in, what, 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah. Alright, so we're watching 446 block, 32 pierce, which is kind of low, but that's perfectly fine for what I'm going for. We're also rocking 735 pip conversion, so 70%, 100% power pip, and 126 shadow pip rating. We can also get this up if we wanted to, but I feel like 126 is a really good spot. Alright, so going through it quickly one more time, just so you see all the stuff. 153 damage, 41 resist, 42 accuracy, 9K health, 442 critical rating, 446 block, 32 pierce, 735 pip conversion, that was 70%, 101, because it was a 101, pip power pips, and 126 shadow pip rating. Alright, so that's currently what I have starting off for my kind of PvP stats. Alright, now how I get these stats, starting off, we're rocking the Dragoon's helm, because that's the best, I think, hat, unless you're like ice in the game. Everyone's rocking Dragoons nowadays. Then we're also getting Dragoon's fiery armor. Thankfully, had a double reagents that came out a week or two ago, and I was able to follow up another reagents to craft my own Dragoon fiery armor. So I decided to chuck this on, thanks to Blake PvP for giving that suggestion. I'm putting it on. I love getting that set bonus, because see that set bonus there, when we take a gander at it, we're actually rocking 5-piece Dragoon to get that 10% power pip, to make sure we have 100% power pips in Wizard101. But I think it's key, because you never want to lose to kind of fail pipping. I hate that feeling. That's why every one of my guys is going to have 100% accuracy and 100% power pips. So, in your own kind of retrospect, it's never going to be your fault that you fizzle, or if you have a fail pip, okay? It's also because your opponent did something to you. So, this is the robe, the big thing about it compared to the mouse search like I usually use. Yes, we lose a lot of accuracy, and we lose a lot of damage and crit, but we do get a lot of block bat. We get 2 more power pip, and the big part is we get almost 900 health. Alright, and even some more shadow pips, and since shadow spells are really, really good right now still, it's really nice to get those shadow pip boost. Alright. Next are the best boots in the game, Dragoon's fire boots. I don't think anyone argues against that. I think every school uses Dragoons. There's no reason not to. For the one, I'm currently using the Foster Avengers Skull Crushers. I'll tell you later in the video what I'm planning to use for them in the future if I ever do get it. You can kind of see in kind of my inventory here stuff I may be going for but haven't got it yet. But the Foster Avengers I'm currently using because it also gives you a set bonus, which I'm using for 2, to get the extra 8 damage for my stats. Alright, so there's that. Also really nice that it does give you that Shadow Pip, which is really key again. Shadow Pips are king. I'm using Dragoon Avon because I want to get the extra block and the extra health. You know, you could use, I think, I don't have it on me, but I think it's the Darkmoor one. But again, you're going to be losing about 600 health, and I think health is still king in this game. And block, since critical block did get a kind of a difference, how you can now resist critical, so I think having more block is beneficial in PvP. Alright, and also to help with that, we're using Dragoon's Fiery Charm, because we want to get more of that block, and also that set bonus for that 10% power pip. I do notice people say there is a better one, I think in Carmel, and that gives you, I think, 2 more resists, a little bit more block, maybe some more health, and I think a Fire Blade, and I guess a no socket jewel. And that's perfectly fine. You can go for that if you want to, but I still think this is the best because you do want to make sure you have that 5 Dragoon set bonus for the 100% power pip. Right? For the ring, it's always going to be the Doors Devil's ring. I don't know why they move away from this because level 110, 120, 130s, all of it's terrible because they take away that pierce and give you, I think, critical. Who cares about that? Alright, so this one's always going to be the one to use with PvP because you want that 6% pierce. Now for my pet, I'm using Lord Murphy, which is a double damage, double resist, may cast Furnace, and may cast Dragonlance Power Pip, okay? So this is what I like to use for PvP on all my pets. I like having double damage, double resist, and then double may cast. I don't know if I have it on me, but I did have another version of this pet that's basically, I think it's double resist, dealer, may cast Furnace, may cast Infallible, and then I could add the Dragon on there to get me free may cast, which I thought would be interesting because a lot of times you don't really care about your damage because you do enough damage overkill anyways, and you do like to always have an aura unless you're playing against a balance. So since it is like 1 out of 7 schools, it is beneficial to always have an aura at some time. So maybe it's something else to try out. Alright, and then we'll also have the Fire Gulcher mount. And we're rocking the Doors Maycare deck because you do want to have up to 6 copies in the bigger sideboard, I believe. As compared to, I think, is my main deck here. Here's the other one. It does give you a bigger sideboard, I guess. But you do lose the number of copies. You do want to have maxed on the copies as you can. Okay. And this one actually gives you apparently pretty good block also. The more you know. So that's kind of the gear setup. And I'll tell you right now, I am trying to change up what I'm going to do for a pet. And also for my wand. Because currently in the game, there is a new one from Carmel. It's a level 138 wand, and you can get it from Bazaar. It's called Executive Thermal Meter. Yeah, that thing. Here's the death version, and you see something's really interesting about it. Is not only does it give you pretty good damage, pretty good crit, it also gives you more Shadow Pip rating than the Fossil Avengers, and it also gives Pierce. Now, the reason why I picked the Fossil Avengers over, say, the Celestial one, it was because it gave me Shadow Pip. And I had to lose, I think, yeah, so I lose like 6 or 8 Pierce. If I get the Executive's Thermometer, I get that Pierce back, basically, and also a higher Shadow Pip. So I'm going to be farming for that. I'm going to be swapping in that. And the only thing I'll lose will be the Pip conversion, which is, you know, we don't lose a lot of 5-pip spells for FFA. So we'll lose that. We'll lose 1 damage, I believe. And probably, like, what's this say, 15 to 20 crit, which is fine. But we will gain 5% Shadow Pip rating, and we'll also gain, I think, 5 to 6 Pierce. So I think that's definitely a benefit. Which also means we'll have to change this since we won't have the set bonus anymore. Unless I can get the mount. If I can get the mount anytime, I'll probably will keep this pet. But a different pet Pierce to use is actually going to be the Scarionet. So I'm working on getting a Scarionet with those stats on there. So once I do get a Scarionet with these stats, at least double damage, double resist, make cast Furnace, I'll probably switch that also. Alright. So the reason why I'm switching that is because you want to play Track Stat Fire right now, okay? Mainly because they took away basically all of the enchants, okay? As you can see, from last updates, all of our fun enchants are now banned. And I am not a fan of that, and I'll tell you multiple reasons, okay? Starting off, let's just go through the deck quickly. I'm still running max the stun blocks. You always want to stun block first turn. Then I'm running, there's a couple of hits, so you have to put hits in the main now, because you also cannot put your enchanted spells into your side deck, which is really unfortunate. No pre-enchants, basically. So we got 2 Brimstones, 2 Efreets, 2 FFAs, 2 Hephaestus, 2 Scorchings. Alright, those are my main hits. We didn't have 1 Fireblade, this in case you need to take off with a spell. Don't really use it besides that. Running 3 Fools, because we want to put as many Fools as possible for the trap stack, so we have the 1 Potent here, the 2nd Potent here, and the 1 regular. Also, we get a Scary Netto. We'll also get a 4th one, and then do have another field we will put into your side deck for 5. So that's the trap stack part there. 1 fire dispel, because why not? Max wildfires. I still think bubbles are really good. You know, it's free damage. It's basically like a fuel. So I'll keep that in there for now. Some people probably say to reduce it, but that's fine. And then 3 strikes, just to make sure I can pull a strike when I need to. Then we also run 1 dragon, just in case to do minion spells. I may put it up to 2, but who knows. Well, we'll just put it 2 for now, I guess. Yeah, I'll take it out. Then we have 4 of our one hits too. Alright, so that's kind of the main deck. You know, I'm still kind of piecing it together. It's okay. And then the side deck, here it is now. I need to figure out where I can put some fuels in there, because I do want to be able to get more fuels. So I want to keep a whole row of tower shields. Let's take these out then and put in fuels. 4 fuels there. Alright, let's do something like that. So whole row of tower shields, need tower shields. I took 2 triages just in case something happens. You know, this is probably actually not needed now, since you can't really enchant that well. And it's not really good. Any overtime is going to hurt you that bad. So this may be one to take out. 2 Colossus. I do run 4 Ifrits and 90s, because that's probably the best fire spell you can have right now. 2 Fire Giants, just to make sure I can draw it. 3 Fire Shocks. 4 fuels. I may bump this if I need to. And 2 Fire Guts, and then a bunch of pierces to take off shields, along with my 1 hits. Alright, so that's kind of the main deck and side deck profile. Now, you can see something that is missing. Now, since they did take away the whole hits here, they did go as card called, I think, Solar Strike or Solar Charge, something like that, and that's supposed to what you can use now for PvP only to enchant your spells based on the number of pips they are. It's like 50 damage per pip it is, alright? So you can get up to that 300 if you need to. Here is the problem and why I'm really ticked off at King's Isle for this decision, alright? And there's an easy way to fix it. Easy way to fix it. But first, let me show you the problem. So, you can get it from Diego. If you go to here, you go to Train, and it's Solar Surge. You see the problem we have here right now? Solar Surge is locked behind the veteran level, or kind of like I say, paywall, okay? You have to get the veteran to get the spell. What this ticks me off about is that this crushes all new players, alright? Right now, PvP is messed up. That basically, if you have a low rank, you're still getting paired off with high rank people. And this is going to kill you, because only higher rank people are going to have the spell ready, alright? People making videos don't really care about it. Say, oh, you just toss in your deck and use it to change your hits. That's because they've been doing it for a while. They already passed the I think it was Sergeant, Veteran, whatever. They already passed the level, they have the spell. For people like me who don't mess around much and want to get into PvP, we cannot even enchant our hits. So, guaranteed at the start, if we ever get matched up against anyone who's even this, let's say, 2... Yeah, this will be 2 ranks higher, I believe. It goes from Sergeant, then 2 more wins, gets you to Veteran, if I'm not mistaken. It's that little margin of victories between you guys. Your opponent is going to have guaranteed stronger hits than you, because they can use Solar Surge and you cannot, alright? So right now, look at my main deck. These attacks are going to be only at this damage, alright? So I definitely have to change this up, because I can't even really use these yet, alright? Because, you know, who wants to use a Bryn with only do 470 or a Scorch and only do 876 max, alright? You want to have that whole 1,000 damage. And you cannot do that currently in the game, because this is kind of locked behind a paywall against for only veteran players, alright? So if you're looking to get into PvP and haven't done so far, I don't really see how you can, alright? Because you're going to get to the point trying to get to veteran, you're going to get matched up against another veteran while you're like a sergeant right now, and they're going to have guaranteed stronger hits. So it's going to be even harder to beat them. So the only way you beat them, well, people complain about it, you're going to have to use a ton of probably 90 E-Freeze, Edo Cheese, TC already made spells that you can currently still use, alright? They'll say, hey, you only want to minus 90% E-Free. Well, guess what? You don't have any Edo good damage spells in the game, alright? Because even comparing the 2 spells, E-Free 780 compared to the one here, 985. So there's no reason for you to try to use the regular Ifrit when the other one does over 200 damage, alright? So hopefully King's Isle fixes that in the future, and they'll be way better for PvP, at least for newer players, which I always try to say, they're all trying to help newer and inexperienced players, alright? So hopefully you fix that and make it a private trainable spell at level 50. Alright, so there's my little rant to add to the video, and with that, that's going to have to do it for the video, and I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please show it by leaving a like on the video, or subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Because that helps you support me, and helps me make more videos for you to enjoy. Now, like the end of every one of my videos, hope the rest of the week is blessed. Hope to see you all again in the next video. And with that, I'm out.